Hi, I've been using a MacBook Pro Retina for a couple of years now. When I got it, I got a decent CPU and everything else with it and maxed out everything except for the hard drive. It was quite cost prohibitive at that time to get a bigger one, and as it was the only thing that was upgradable, I decided that I would wait. Well, 2 years on, I finally got to the point where I'm going to do the upgrade, and what I've got myself is a JetDrive 725. It's a 960 gigabyte, so it basically classifies itself as a 1 terabyte drive, and I'm going to swap it in and using the 512 gigabyte one that's inside, it'll go into a nice aluminum case that actually comes with the JetDrive for exactly that purpose, to put the drive that you remove into the external one. You can use it as an external USB drive, which it has a high-speed USB 3 interface, so it should be quite performant even though it's outside of the box. So anyway, just going to take you through the steps to do this, because I'm not sure if there are very many videos out there that help people to do this kind of upgrade, and you know, some people say you can't do it, but from everything I understand you can, and let's hope I can, because I've got the drive here and it's not cheap. So without any further ado, let's just get to it. So before you start doing this process, the very first thing you need to do is make sure that your battery is fully charged, and make sure that you have made a complete backup of the existing system. Obviously, if you don't want to keep it and you're going to restore from fresh, then it doesn't matter. But if you actually want to migrate everything over to the new hard drive, then you need to make sure you've got a backup just in case things go awry and you can revert back to where you were. So I've already done that with mine. I've had it charged up and I've just completed doing the full backup, so I don't need to make you wait through that. And what I will do now is get started with the transfer to the new hard drive. So what comes with this kit, all right, here it is the 960 gigabyte drive. Let's just open up this container here, and they got a number of different sizes depending on what you need. I already had 500 gig, so there's no point in just putting another 500 gig in, so I've gone for the biggest one that they do. And let's just move that out of the way. First thing we have is the drive that's going to be going in. This is the 1 terabyte or 960 gigabyte solid state disk, and it plugs into the back of the laptop. We have the instructions, right, quick installation guide and a warranty card. And one really nice thing that comes with this is a little aluminum container to put the old drive in, right? So that's another piece. And one thing that I was quite interested to see whether it came or not, there's a couple of rubber feet for the drive, is you've got USB 3 cable for hooking it up to the computer when you're done, screws for the aluminum cover, pouch to put the external drive in when you're traveling around. But the other nice thing, which was a nice touch, was they've actually included screwdrivers. I went through all of the screwdrivers I've got, and I've got star screwdrivers up to very large ones, and I've got very tiny ones for doing things like repairs to an iPhone. And I didn't have any that actually was right in the middle to allow me to even take the cover off the back of the laptop. So that's good. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the instructions and see where we have to go first. So, as you can see here, the instructions actually consist of basically 6 steps. First step is put the new drive into the external container, the enclosure. Okay. Step 2 is boot up in recovery mode, holding down the option key during startup. Format the JetDrive and clone the contents of the original SSD onto the JetDrive. Then take the new drive and put it into your Mac. Insert the original SSD into the external enclosure and basically turn it on. So theoretically, there's 6 simple steps to doing this upgrade. So first things first, putting the new JetDrive into the enclosure so that we can clone the new drive into it, the old drive onto the new drive. So there's this little circuit board adapter for the USB 3 interface. I guess it's got some lights on the back and probably a few things underneath this tape. I'm not going to mess around with it because it's probably static sensitive, so we're just going to be careful with it. There we go. So that's back in place. Alright, so we got the adapter for this, and the card's just going to drop in here. So here's the card. I'm going to take that out of the case. Now again, you want to be careful with these because you know, they may be fairly tolerant to static and things, but you really don't want to take any chances. So, you know, hold them by the edge. Try not to, you know, be walking around in anything that's got static or anything like that, you know, before you start handling this. So that just clips in there, right? The little socket drops down, and that's pretty much it for putting that in there. Now, I'm not going to screw the lid down or anything, but I will put the lid on it just to, right? So the lid here has got some plastic insulation, bit of rubber on each end to probably hold the drive down securely in its mounting. So we'll just put that over the top, right? And now what we've got to do is plug it into the Mac. So there's the drive plugged in. It's got a little blue light to let me know that it's turned on. All right, just going to see if I can get this thing to sit a little better on my bench. I've got a lot of things going on here, so just going to try and get that sitting better. Okay. Now for the laptop, when we power up, we want to power this up in by pressing the Option key when we power it up, so that it comes up in recovery mode. So, first mistake of the book, it tells me to hold down the Option key, but to get to recovery mode, you need to hold down the Command plus the R key until you get the Apple logo, and then let go. So let's see if that works. And there we have it. So first thing we need to do is go into the utilities menu, and we need to initialize the JetDrive. So right here. And just create one partition, 960 gigabytes, name, get my name. Pro Retina, and we'll apply those, and we're only doing it just for, always good to double check that you're doing it to the right drive. So we've got the 960 gigabyte JetDrive, and there we go. So we'll apply those settings, and we'll partition that. Okay, there's done for that. I think that's all we need to do with it. So let's see what we've got to do next. So I think I figured it out here. When you're in the utilities, we've prepared the drive, but I don't think we actually needed to do that. If I select the new drive and we select restore for it, you can select the source drive, right, which in our case wants to be the Mac HD, which is the original one, so we just drop that on, or you can just click on it like I did there. And then you need to select the destination drive, which is in this case the MacBook Pro Retina drive name. All right, so there's my source and the destination. If it doesn't highlight already, you just drag across to the destination, and it tells me to copy a volume or restore a disk image to a volume, such as a source volume or disk image. Select the source volume or disk image, and then select the destination, then click restore. So it will erase Peter MBPR and copy the contents of Macintosh HD onto it. So that's exactly what we want to do. So we just hit restore and get it going. Are you sure I want to erase the new drive and replace the contents? Yes, we do. So now that's going to chug away for a while, about 34 minutes. So I'm going to stop the video. As you can see down there, the Transcend drive here is flashing away as it's doing its thing. It's going to take 30 minutes to copy 500 gigs of data across to it. At that point, we should be able to just drop the card into the MacBook Pro and go on from there. So about halfway through, seems to be sticking to its schedule. Said it was going to be about 30 odd minutes, and it looks like it's just over halfway through, and it is about 15 minutes or so since I started it, so that's good. Anyway, we'll come back in a few more and see how it's doing. Okay, I just didn't quite catch the very end of it. I was out of the room for a second, but it's finished on schedule. This is the screen, so now both hard drives read the same, even though I'd renamed the Transcend to say Peter MBPR. It's now been renamed to Macintosh HD because it's basically cloned the hard drive across. Disk 1, of course, is the OS X base system, which is the recovery utilities and things, which I think is on a separate piece of storage. Anyway, so the next step is to shut down and completely power down the MacBook Pro, open up the back, and switch the cards over. And theoretically, it should boot right back up again. So let me just power this down. We want to make sure the power is completely off because we're going to be unplugging cards and things out of the back of this, and we don't want to have power on while we do that. Alright, that's shut down. Let's just unplug the Transcend card. Move that out of the way for a second. Shut down the MacBook, unplug its power, of course. Let's just turn this puppy over. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 screws to remove out of this thing. They've got 2 screwdrivers provided in the kit, so I'm not sure which one is the right one. They're both T5s. So that one is one's a T5 and that doesn't fit in the screw holes. And the other one is a P5, so it's probably that one. This is the P5. And there we go, that fits in. So we'll remove the screws off the back. Never actually been into this yet before. Just quickly take it out. It's very short. So I'm losing it. I'll just try and keep them in the same place just in case. No, I'm not going to get this on these, that's good. But just make sure I'm not losing it. Keep them close to the end of my room there, so I don't get lost easily. And that's on the top. And the last one. Right, second last one. Just very slightly there. So, see, now we should be able to lift the back off gently. Ooh, a little bit dusty. I'll give that a quick dust before you put it back in. And basically, here is the MacBook Pro. So it's I guess all of this down the front here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That must be all batteries. The keyboard sitting at this side. You got 2 low profile fans. Still pretty clean in here, so I'm not going to try and do anything silly like with the blower or anything. And here's the memory right here in the corner. Let me just zoom in a bit, see if you can see that. Alright, so this is the memory stick right here. So the idea will be to pull that out. Alright, that's shut down. Let's just gently lift it out. Now we get the one out of the Transcend container again that we had before. So let's just gently lift that out and take it off the connector. There we go. So now this is just going to sit right back in here. And there is a little key, in case you're wondering if you get this upside down. You can see that this is offset here. Alright, so there's a little slot in here. And on here, right here, there's a little notch, so you know which way around to put this in. And you just slide it back in the slot. Take your big black screw. And that theoretically is that. So I'm going to just wipe the dust off the back of this lid because it's a bit grubby. And now put the lid back on. I'm going to screw it back up again because I don't want to take any chances of something getting messed up with this. So we'll just quickly put the screws back in. Now theoretically, just zoom back out again so you can see it live. This should just boot up once I hit the power again and boot back up properly. So just let that boot up on its own. And theoretically, we should have a 960 gigabyte drive now with everything that I had before. Well, it's encouraging that it's coming up with my name again. So let's just quickly put my password in and log in. Well, so far that all seems to be correct. It now shows me a capacity of 959.34 gigabytes with 566.4 gigabytes available. So that is excellent. It all seems to have worked just fine. So I'm just going to shut this down a second, put the rest of the screws in, and we'll look at getting some utilities. And also I'm going to put the drive that came out of the box into the Transcend case. So let's get on with that. Alright, that's the MacBook Pro re-screw together. Now let's just do this nice little Transcend device. Again, this also has a notch in the connector, which is the reason why it should be wrong here. And just slide that into the slot. Let it drop down. And this screw like this, it's all based on in case the lid. So take a lid, and it goes one way. Set that in. Now put back in some screws in here. It's small, so you can lose them. Okay, so again, using the same screwdriver head as the right top one. And last one. I think. Perhaps. This one. I was paying attention to everything. No, don't mind it's not. Just that the fast you also have a pocket full of screw gauges. So, all in all, for the basic upgrade, that was pretty painless. The biggest problem was the fact that the instructions were wrong about how to go into disk utility recovery mode on the MacBook. And I don't do it very often, so I couldn't remember how to do it. So I was relying on the instructions being right, and of course they weren't. So these are like feet to put onto the screw holes on this. I think I'll wait. Yep, yeah, I'll just wait to put those on because I don't have to rip them yet. So I verified that the drive is going to work properly. So let's just add some power back to the MacBook. Plug this back in. I've got no worries that it won't work. I just want to make doubly sure before I finally commit to putting those on, because I don't, when you pull them off, they never go back on again properly. So that should be showing up shortly. Let's just log in while we wait. There is old hard drive showing up on the screen right here. I'll bring that in the middle. So if I look in there, that should basically look exactly the same as the one that is here. All right. Just one of them is obviously the removable device now. So if I do a properties on that one, or get info should I say, then there's the old drive, so 499.05 gigabytes. So looks like that's all been done nicely. Now I'm not too worried about keeping the data on here, because I did do a complete backup of the drive onto an external terabyte disk before I started as well. So I'm not worried about that, and it looks like the transfer to the new machine has gone perfectly well. So theoretically I can just simply erase this and do whatever I like with it. But just for now I'm just going to leave it alone, because I don't have anything particular that I want to do with it yet, and I've got a few other hard drives I want to sort out. But that pretty much is the complete process from start to finish. So biggest deal, as I said, getting into recovery mode, pressing Command and R until the Apple logo comes up, then letting go, versus what the instructions say, which is pressing the Option key during startup. That didn't seem to work. Anyway, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you find it useful. Maybe not be afraid to do your own MacBook Pro upgrades. And there you go. Thanks. Bye.